Namaste, divine beings. Vanakkam, pranams, and joys of this moment to celebrate the auspicious Ganesh Chaturthi. In our journeys towards light, towards consciousness, the first of worship is Lord Ganesh. For a yogi, the start is the inner fire, the fire that is within us 24/7 is now brought into awareness, of each breath. So in this live stream, I would like to teach the pranayama, first the mantra, and several yogic tips that will enhance our human life experiences. So to begin with, as I speak, I remember my grandmother is a very spiritual person. She would take me as a kid, she would take me to her altar room and have me do my pranams like this and tell me that the first prayer is, hey God, give me the right thoughts, give me good thoughts. And that asking and seeking for the good thought really means, hey God, give me consciousness. Because if we do have consciousness, we know how to have more of consciousness. We know to stay on the path of light. We know grace and to be at the receiving end of grace. So, divine beings, I'd like to start this live stream with a story. 6 months ago, I had gone to India and my father has not been too well. And he had been suffering from cancer. And when I went to India, I had gone down to Thirumulanathar, the sacred mountain of Arunachala. And we walk around the mountain to complete our worship. So we normally get started walking at night. And as I started walking around the mountain, it's a very important gesture. It's a very important ritual, or it's an important heart ritual to feed the dogs that come along and give money to all the beings around. And you have several sadhus around, several beings who are around the mountain. So as I was walking along, I see a person with an enormous energy field walk towards me. And I walk up to him and offer him money. And he tells me, no, you keep the money and give it to anyone who would need it more than me. And come take my blessings. And he took his hand, and when he touched me, I could just feel white light coming through. And I knew I'd received powerful blessings. And we continued our journey. Now, this being who walked the opposite direction, just in 45 minutes later, he's coming from the opposite direction. And I thought it could be someone else. So I walked up to him and said, may I have your blessings? And he said, no, I've already blessed you. Move. And he walks. But when he walked, a gust of wind followed him. It was like a train or a bus moving. There was so much of energy moving behind him. So this being, I realized, was real in the human. And I would think of him often until just 4 weeks ago, while I was in India. I had gone back to Arunachala for another round of pilgrimage, and around 2:30, 3 o'clock, I realized he was around. His presence could be felt, and there he was. So my first question to him was, I mentioned first to him that I was so blessed. It was like my dreams coming true. It was like a miracle that my prayers were answered by seeing him. So I asked him for a blessing that could be for humanity, for every human. And he did mention something so beautiful. And I have that on our YouTube channel with him giving his blessings as to just being aware of each breath. But it was powerful the way he said it. And he opened his doors, and I came to realize that he had taken a vow to walk around the mountain 21,000 times. This is 14 kilometers. And he walks around the mountain 5 times or 8 times every day. And my question to him was, how do you manage to walk this fast? What is it? And he said, thoughts, thought. And that got me thinking. And he came to know my dad was not well, and my dad had cancer. And he went to see my father and gave his blessings to my father. And my father was up, pretty much normal, with a lot of healing energies going through him. But this alignment with him got me to understand a very powerful yogic concept. And that yogic concept is where the power of where thought begins, empowering thought and enabling that thought to be the grander reality that creates the reality. And this begins with Lord Ganapathy, our root chakra. Today, in circumstances where we are in our individual life realities and in the collective human realities, we see that we are so much a part of it, and we also play a part in this. And when we wake up, we are waking ourselves up, and we are waking humanity up. And being awake, we steer all of humanity and of the living to the directions of harmony, peace, love, abundance, and all the goodness. And this is the start of our journey. Lord Ganapathy. Gana is beings. Ganapathy is the one who is the head of all beings. In other words, when we light our lamp inside ourselves, we are the pillar of light, and we are served by all the beings of light. And this is the awakening of our inner guru, our inner fire, Lord Ganapathy, Ganesh, Vinayaka, to all the many names. So this, if you go into the stories of Ganapathy, they're all symbolic. It is wisdom to understand Ganapathy from the perspective that elephant head symbolizes the powerful empowerment that is already there within us. The elephant symbolizes that huge, colossal energy within ourselves. Every animal has a special uniqueness that cannot be replicated. And yet, All that which is the animal is within us. And the most potent in terms of emotional energy is passion. Ganapathy represents that passion that is transformed into from human to angel, from the human mind to consciousness. So when we are worshipping Ganapathy, we are tapping into awakening that huge empowerment of ours, which is the giant passion and the angelic intent, and of course, grace. Grace to complete the journey without hindrance. Grace to move and flow without a karmic imprints holding us back. So what does it take to worship Ganapathy, our inner fire, and what does it mean? First, understanding that all the ritual we are doing outside ourselves is actually a process of initiating that within ourselves. So in India, with a 10-day celebration of Ganapathy, bringing Ganapathy home, worshipping him each day, and then putting him off in the river to dissolve means necessarily bringing the form and invoking the formlessness within the form, and then letting go of the form and letting that formless spirit dwell in us with the blessings. So in a yogic journey, today is the process of what it means, what is the deeper significance of this worship and its empowerment. The first is to know that our journey begins with lighting our own inner lamp at least once a day. This is our source connectivity. This is our moment of sacred union. The union between the cosmic and the reality is Tantra. So this is where Tantiram, the deeper wisdom of source and human connectivity, the power and the magic of the source and human connectivity is the root chakra, Ganapathy, Ganesh. The story goes that Ganesh and Lord Muruga, Skanda, were put to test by Lord Shiva, infinity, 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 and Goddess Shakti, pure energy, father and mother, energy and infinity. And in this test was who would be able to go around the universe the fastest. Lord Muruga had a peacock and Ganapathy had a mouse. And Lord Muruga went flashing through around the universe faster than the speed of light. But when he came back to his father and mother to claim his victory, which was the fruit of wisdom, he sees that Ganapathy has already eaten the fruit. And his father and mother mentioned to him that Lord Ganapathy, Ganesh, actually won the test. He walked around his father and mother, and that was his universe. And with that, he won. What this teaches us is three powerful secrets. The first is that when we go to a temple, when we go to any place of worship, walk around. Walking around is called parikrama. Walking around, we digest the energy of what's inside the circle. Walking around the circle allows us to digest what's inside the circle. So this means have an altar in your house. If possible, give it a separate room. If possible, put it right in the middle of the room and light your inner lamp and walk around. You're creating a temple, you're creating a shrine so that you could be a shrine. So that's the first. The second is the significance of understanding our mother and father as our first guru and allowing that energy field to be the blossom of each cell. See, when we say source connected to human, it is grace. And this grace starts from the cellular level or go even one step beyond into the DNA level. The DNA level is our ancestry, seven generations above. Our father on the right side, mother. So that's the second. The third is intelligence, sharpness, being wise in the human reality is Ganesh. And when we wake up our root chakra, we also understand that we are making ourselves more efficient and allowing ourselves to complete our human responsibilities, our human realities from all the dimensions of being human, in the form of passion, in the form of hunger, in the form of even ego. Everything relates on the human level, on the root chakra level. Everything relates to the mundane, where we begin and where we need to complete first. So we go back into another dimension, another story of mine, which is that there was a Siddha sage living in the forest. His name was Mahasava Swami. And I knew when I met him that he was going to leave his body very soon. And I asked him for his blessings, and I said, "Can you give a blessings for humanity, for all?" And he mentioned, "Let the root chakra of each be awake." And that puzzled me, because when you say the root chakra being awake, it necessarily means awakening the primal senses within us. And he said, yes, but when it is awake, all this powerful energy can be moved upwards. All this powerful energies of the inner fire now is in ascendance. And when it is in ascendance, every chakra of us blossoms. And when every chakra of us blossoms, so does the realities blossom from each layer of a chakra, each layer of a consciousness. As we climb up and up and up, we are now the angelic in the human, the spirit having the beautiful, powerful human experience. So before I give the mantra, this is the Siddha mantra, I need to be in gratitude with my beloved Guru who gave me this mantra, Siddha Guruji Rajasamy, whose presence and his lineage presence is in this mantra. Later, I'd like to give it to you in writing too, so we have it. This is a powerful mantra that we are receiving today on this auspicious day. And the significance of this mantra is, one, to light our own inner lamp. The lamp you light outside yourself is the lamp you light inside ourselves. So utilize this mantra to light a lamp. This is one. The second dimension is, we utilize this mantra for pranayama. Pranayama is the breath. Our thought emerges from breath. Harmonize our breath, harmonize the inner vortex field that we are, and receive the highest wisdom through the vibratory field of harmony within ourselves, through breath. This is the pranayama. So when we say pranayama, we are bringing together our two hemispheres of the brain in harmony through breath. Scientists over the years were in a quandary with Albert Einstein's brain because they could not see anything significant in terms of size of his brain to relate to the high IQ he had until recently. And what they realized was that his right brain and his left brain were so well connected, much more well connected than a normal person. And that's what pranayama does. So in this live stream, I am giving you the pranayama techniques in the way for you to do on a daily basis. It clears the mind, it allows us to source align, and most important, it opens the door of grace. So the day is fulfilled in completion. The day is fulfilled in the powerful energies of inspiration moving through us to complete and do the grand work of source. So divine beings first, the mantra. So before we begin, take a deep inhale. Sit with a back straight. Remember that when we say our inner fire and when we are awakening Lord Ganesh within us, we would need to go into the core epicenter within ourselves, which is the Mooladhara Chakra. The Mooladhara Chakra is right from the roots. Imagine, visualize a pyramid. Visualize the four corners of the pyramid. Lord Ganesh is represented as a four-petaled flower. Four-petaled flower. That's actually the pyramid, the four directions. And in the epicenter of the pyramid is the root chakra, the center of stability. And that is what we are within ourselves at the roots. Make a straw of the tongue and visualize ourselves going into that core. Hold the breath, and at that core, we are all going to say the sound, the resonance ah. Ring, 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 ang, 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 ung, 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 Ganamani namo, Ganamani ring, ang, ung, Ganamani namo, ring, ang, ung, Ganamani namo. Visualize the innermost fire. Visualize the fire within ourselves that we are setting alight through the mantra from the root chakra. Ring Ganamane Namo, Ringangong 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 Ganamane Namo. Ringangong Ganamane Namo, Ringangong Ganamane Namo, Ringangong Ganamane Namo, Ringangong Ganamane Namo, Ringangong Ganamane Namo. Rub our palms together. Feel a mother. Feel our father. Feel every cell in our body vibrate with gratitude, with love. Now say the mantra and feel the grace, blessings of Ganapathy. Ringangong Ganamane Namo, Ringangong Ganamane Namo, Ringangong Ganamane Namo, Ringangong Ganamane Namo, Ringangong Ganamane Namo. Receive the blessings. The significance of awakening the Mooladhara is opening that huge vortex of energy field. When we are awake, we can work from inside ourselves or take the inner energy and work from the outside. So great, emperors like Emperor Ashoka, Emperor Constantine, they were warmongers. They had this huge Mooladhara base. And the moment they woke up, they could utilize that energy to shift humanity to the next level, to the next dimension. So when we wake up the root chakra, we are awakening that vast empowering energies to be able to shift humanity, to be able to do giant work, to be able to accomplish what we are here in the human to do. Each of us have that highest purpose written in us, preordained, that we wake up to do. And the first of the blessings we receive of this is the knowing. The knowing is the awakening to understand we are the spirit having the human experience, the angelic being having that human experience. So when we are doing even the pranayama, the process of the pranayama is to tap into the root chakra. Likewise, when we tap into the root chakra through every breath of ours, we are kindling energies that moves upwards. So from the age of 28 onwards, the peak of a human youth, 28 onwards, our energy starts dropping. The laws of gravity takes place. For a yogi, no, we reverse it by taking the energy upwards every breath. So when we are doing the pranayama, understand that there is the component of this pranayama that we will be utilizing throughout the day. This pranayama is the Siddha Pranayama of Siddha Thirumulanathar. Age old, cannot put an age behind the time of Siddha Thirumulanathar. And in this Siddha tradition of the pranayama is utilizing this formula for meditating, for going deeper inside ourselves. So the ratio of this pranayama is 1 we inhale, 4 we retain, 2 we exhale. 1 is to 4 is to 2, alternative nostrils. 1 we inhale, 4 we retain, 2 we exhale. Now we utilize the mantra. When you say 1, it's the count of the mantra. Ring Ganapathy Namo. This is one. We say the mantra within ourselves, and we could do the pranayama how many ever rounds. Ideally, I would do it 3 times for the root chakra, and then allow the energies to raise up and feel my body as a shrine, and do 3 times with Ganapathy inside me as the one who dwells in my body. And the third is I would visualize him as the infinite, infinite, infinity, and all starting from my roots 3 times. But for this purpose of now, we're going to do it 3 times. Work it from the root chakra and feel it from the awake inner lamp within ourselves. This is called the Vishnu Mudra, right? We're utilizing this to regulate our breath, regulate the nostrils. So sit down on knees, straighten the lower back, feel ourselves sit like a pyramid with our legs a little bit wide open, a little bit open. Press the left toe down and take a deep inhale from the left. By pressing the left big toe down, our left nostril opens up. Exhale slowly to the left, saying the mantra. Press the right nostril, press the right big toe. Exhale slowly to the right. Press the right big toe down. Say the mantra. Ring. Now let's say the pranayama. Let's do the pranayama, the visualization. When we inhale once, inhale from the roots. Retain the breath 4 times in the roots, saying the mantra. Exhale to the alternative, the alternative nostril twice, saying the mantra 2 times. So inhale, closing the right nostril, press the left toe down and inhale all the way from the roots, saying the mantra once. Hold the breath, say the mantra within ourselves 4 times, closing the left nostril, feel the lamp within ourselves, press the right big toe, exhale slowly to the right twice. Inhale all the way from the roots. Hold the breath. Say the mantra 4 times, closing the right nostril. Press the left nostril. Now press the left big toe, flipping the breath. Say the mantra 4 times. Exhale to the left twice. Inhale all the way from the roots. Hold the breath. Say the mantra within 4 times. Pressing the right toe. Exhale slowly to the right. Saying the mantra twice. Inhale all the way down from the roots. As you're saying the mantra 4 times, feel the inner lamp, the inner fire. Exhale slowly to the left twice. Take a deep inhale all the way from the roots. Hold the breath, say the mantra 4 times within ourselves. Exhale slowly twice. Rub our palms, receive the blessings. This is the pranayama practice that we could do by ourselves at home each day to not only invoke Ganapathy as the inner fire, but also to regulate our breath. So when we come to Ganapathy, our karma is destroyed. That is the significance of breaking the coconut. So when we say the mantra now, let's imagine the inner fire and let's imagine ourselves surrendering all that which is the karmic limitations, the karma within of ourselves, and the karma of humanity, and the karma of the collective moment in time that we are. Let's go in and into our inner fire through the mantra as prayers. Let's say the mantra together. Ringangong Anamanenamom, 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 Ringangong Anamanenamom. Walk around the sacred fire. Imagine ourselves walking around ourselves, and within ourselves is the mother and father. Within ourselves is the entire cosmos, the male principle of infinity and the female principle of energy. Everything is energy. Thought is energy. Reality is energy. Our very experience too is energy. So when you say the mantra, we are walking around parikrama, around ourselves. Ringangong Anamanenamom, Ringangong Anamanenamom, Ringangong Anamanenamom, Ringangong Anamanenamom, Ringangong Anamanenamom, Ringangong Anamanenamom, Ringangong Anamanenamom. This fire, the root chakra fire, we build it, grow it, and climb it up above the navel. Above the navel is the next chakra, the Guru chakra. So the power of the roots is the vastness of the fire that we build to climb upwards. When we set alight the chakra above our roots, the navel, we are now fine-tuning the grace element of the highest self with the mundane realities, the realities that we experience. And that reality, the moment it is so entwined, becomes the magnificent realities of completion, of fulfillment. So, divine beings, now there's a series of tips I would like to share with you, yogic tips. The first is, when we wake up, what would we do? The first is rub our palms together and receive the blessings of our highest self within us, and that is the Guru. And who is the Guru? The first is our mother, and then our father. Rub our palms and receive the blessings. That would be the first. The second is clear the bowels, and after that, get into doing yoga. So when we do our yoga, we would want to awaken the root chakra. Yoga is powerful, the hatha yoga is powerful because the body needs connect to breath and mind. The body is the only thing we can call our own while we are here in the human realities. And this body, if it's in pleasure, is going to go into meditative state. If it is in pain, it's going to block our ability to think. So the body is so vital. And within the body is the inner fire that connects the body and spirit, and that's yoga. So I created Kalangi Kundalini Yoga as a teaching. I created it as a DVD to share the teachings with you. This is the Kalangi Kundalini Yoga DVD that has just been done. We call it Yoga of the Achiever, and it's systematic. It's systematic in terms of taking us through the inner journey of yoga as prayers. The most potent prayer is not the mind alone, it's the body, mind, and intent coming together. That is the supreme yoga to climb up in consciousness and expand consciousness. Ultimately, having that expanded consciousness is the cause for greater, grander realities, and it not only dissolves away karmic imprints, it also utilizes the karma of the past that cannot be dissolved into dharma. It converts our challenges into opportunities. Worshipping Ganesh, Ganapathy is the first of the awakening to begin the journey. So when we light our inner lamp, we know we are on the pathway to light of consciousness, and this consciousness is opening several doors to consciousness. Wisdom leads us to greater wisdom. Light leads us to greater light. And this is the second. So the best time really to do yoga is in the morning time, to reactivate and realign ourselves to being whom we are. Who are we? We are that infinite light. We are the sun. We are not really the planet. We are not really the realities. When we are the sun, all the planets go around us. All our realities go around us. When we awaken our inner fire, we are the supreme spirit, the self, the greatness, vastness of self. And once we know that we are that self, celebrating that self, we are adorned by all the masters coming to serve us. Christ, Mahatma Gandhi, Buddha. All these beings come to serve us by way of giving us their precious wisdom, by way of giving us thought. And that thought is powerful. This thought is the knowing. Next, when we get our day started, we understand that we are going to start working from a throne, whether it is driving a car, or whether it is sitting down, or whether it is even walking. Wherever we are in a temple. Where we are is the enshrined sanctum sanctorum. In other words, before we get started driving a car, say a prayer to Ganapathy, and look at your seat where you're sitting down. That's the throne. Invoke and visualize Ganapathy's presence. So in that way, when we sit on our seat, we know our thoughts are guided. Every moment moves in the flow. Every thought comes from the higher place. We've been able to bridge our ancient timelessness in time. And when we do this, we are mighty efficient in doing. The next is every breath, inhaling from the roots. Hold the breath, retain, and gently exhale. But when we are doing this, feel the lower back strengthen, feeling every spine activate itself, feeling the fire from within climbing upwards, feeling ourselves as the vastness that we are. We are that vastness in the human experience. So when we go to a temple, church, mosque, see the high ceiling and put your hands up and say, I am, I am, I am, because that's how big we really are. Activate that vastness within ourselves. That's whom we are. And allow every breath to understand that. The deeper, slower, vaster breath, the more of expanded consciousness from where we are able to see the big picture. And when we are able to see the big picture, failures, shortcomings do not matter anymore, because we've seen the larger picture. We are working towards the larger picture. We see everything as an opportunity. Okay. The next in dimension of Ganapathy is surrendering thoughts that is not good for us. The quality of our thought is diminished when we have lower level of thoughts, emotional layers of thoughts, thoughts from guilt and anger and emotions affecting us. So think of having a coconut in a hand, all our past, or think of our own head as a coconut. A head means a mind. Think of a mind itself as a coconut and crack it. Say the mantra. Let's do it together. Okay, we say the mantra and crack everything of the past, everything of that's bothering us, anything that's not meant to be with us. Let go. Now, when we move forward in our doings, understand at all times we are the core of the core of the core, epicenter from where we are breathing. But inside this core epicenter is the dance. So when we journey through the day, at all times we are inspired. At all times we are rested in the perpetuality of energies. This perpetuality of energies is the root chakra. Feel it swirl around. In the core is harmony, but we swirl the energy. So feel the energy swirl. So rested in the perpetuality of the dynamic energies of Mother Kundalini, we are the source connected. We are the yogi. So, divine beings, to recap, first, light our own inner lamp. Next, have an altar, create an altar space. So, in that way, you are the temple. We are the temple. We are the enshrined. Walk around, generate the energies. Do your pranayama, balance breath. Then do a yoga with focus on awakening the roots and allowing the inner fire to climb upwards through the grace of connectivity, or I would rather say reconnectivity to whom we really are. And then move the day. Allow the beautiful, magnificent realities to blossom through each of us by way of the grace of consciousness. This is the blessings of Ganapathy. Love you all. All there is the love that is light. That is the oneness of each of us as the vastness, as the beings of consciousness, as the awake beings, having come to get a job done, having come to enjoy the play of life, to uplift humanity, uplift ourselves, and be fulfilled in inspiration, love, health, wealth, and all the blessings. Gratitude, divine beings. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Happy, happy, happy Ganesh Chaturthi. Gratitude.